Good evening and welcome to NEWSBREAK Live. I'm Hiba Sambat. Thanks for joining us. A major intersection was shut down, causing traffic delays this evening. Around 3 p.m., northbound and southbound Crenshaw Boulevard at Delama Boulevard was closed due to a tanker truck fire. Officials reported that there was no harm to the community and that an engine component caught on fire. Drivers were urged to avoid the area. As of now, all lanes have reopened. Torrance fire was also on scene. Newborns at Torrance Memorial Medical Center are looking cuter than ever, and it's all to raise awareness. Torrance Memorial Medical Center had a special photo opportunity today for their tiniest patients. It was to celebrate the hospital's participation in the American Heart Association's Little Hats, Big Hearts program. Representatives from the American Heart Association personally delivered more than 250 handmade knitted red caps today. It's all to help raise awareness about congenital heart defects, the most common type of birth defect. 15 hospitals are participating, including Provincial Company of Mary Medical Center in Torrance. All of the hospitals will receive these hats for babies born in the month of February. Officials say the hats are a reminder to parents to cherish their health and commit to helping their children grow healthy and strong hearts. The program started in Chicago in 2014. More than 100,000 hats are to be handed out throughout the country. The city of Torrance is getting ready for the next general municipal elections. Today, the city clerk's office was busy as they had appointments booked all day for candidates interested in running for either mayor, a council seat, city clerk, and treasurer. There are 3 city council seats which will be voted on. The elections are set to take place on June 5th. So far, incumbent Mayor Patrick Fury will run again. Other 2 candidates on the list are Tom Brewer and Ron Riggs. For council seats, incumbents Tim Goodrich and Kurt Wiedemann are also looking to be reelected. The city clerk's office hopes that voters will ask questions and build voting skills by learning how to tell who sent campaign brochures, how to research political campaigns, and where to get more information about the candidates and issues. Thanks to 7 candidate forums across the city over the next 3 months, people will be able to ask questions firsthand. Your vote will decide the direction the city will take in the next 4 to 8 years. As of January 2017, the city of Torrance has more than 83 registered voters. The nomination period closes at 5 p.m. on March 9th. To get more information, go to torrancevotes.org. As tens of thousands of celebrators descended on New Orleans streets for Mardi Gras, here in Torrance, a local bakery was also offering some indulgence with some rich tradition. Every year, Mardi Gras, which is French for Fat Tuesday, attracts people for parades and fun in New Orleans. It's celebrated today and is the culmination of the carnival season, which started in January. In honor of the celebration, Torrance Bakery was offering Mardi Gras-related treats such as the king cake. The cinnamon ring-shaped cake is decorated in the traditional Mardi Gras colors of purple, green, and yellow. Each cake comes with a small plastic baby figurine, which represents baby Jesus. The baby is traditionally placed inside the cake, and if you find the baby in your piece, tradition says, you get to host the next Mardi Gras celebration. The first Mardi Gras started in 1703. It is the day before Ash Wednesday, which marks the start of Christian Lent season leading up to Easter. Tomorrow is a day for lovers, and choosing those perfect flowers can be hard sometimes. Local florists and bakeries across the city have been busy with orders. Choosing a bouquet with a personal touch can be a head scratcher, but this year florists say there are some trends you may want to keep in mind when placing orders. Ultraviolet blooms are the color for 2018. Popular types of flowers include tulips, a lot of foliage, fine, delicate, and multi-headed flowers, along with plants. Popular Torrance shop Andy's Florist on Hawthorne Boulevard are already busy with orders. They say they're known for their long stem roses and statement flowers.
Higher end flowers. We also have this year our new everlasting roses. So they're roses that are preserved and actually last up to 1 year. And through this preservation process, we're able to tint them with our importers, the engineers that we work with directly in Ecuador. So we're able to get black roses, blue roses, our Tiffany teal roses, forest green roses, and those have been very popular this year too.
Andy's is taking orders tomorrow as well. The National Retail Federation estimates that this year, total spending on Valentine's Day is expected to reach more than $19 billion. Commuters, get ready for some traffic delays on your daily commute. As work for the Anza Rehabilitation Project continues, the first inside lanes on Anza will be closed during the day from Tower Street to Delane Street on Thursday and Friday. But there is some good news as the lanes will reopen by the end of each day. There will also be localized repairs of damaged sidewalks, curbs, gutters, and driveways. The first phase is on Anza and the second one from Delamo Boulevard to Sepulveda. A native Torrance teen is bringing home a gold medal from the Winter Olympics in South Korea. It was an unforgettable moment as 17-year-old Chloe Kim was brought to tears as she was crowned with a gold medal in the half-pipe category, making her the youngest medalist ever in the half-pipe. On her third and final run, Kim received a near-perfect score of 98.25 out of 100. Kim began snowboarding when she was 4 years old, and winning multiple gold medals isn't new to her. She's won 3 X Games gold medals. The Team USA website reports that Kim was born in Long Beach and her hometown is Torrance. The $15 million new Aquatic Center project is close to its grand opening. This recent drone footage captures the state-of-the-art facility filling up its 2 pools with nearly 1 million gallons of water. While it was a sight to see, you can experience the grand project itself when you come out to the grand opening celebration on March 3rd. It's open to the public and you'll be able to see the facility's 60-meter Olympic-sized competition pool, a warm-up pool, elevated bleachers for 600 spectators, and separate locker rooms for each of the 4 high schools. The pools will allow for 2 sports to be played at the same time. The facility will also be green as the pools rely on solar panels to partially heat the water. The project was possible thanks to funds from Bond Measure U, which was passed by Torrance voters in 2014. The Aquatic Center is located at 2320 Crenshaw Boulevard. The celebration will start at 1 p.m. If you're a business, you have the chance to win a recognition and some money. The City of Torrance Economic Development Department is accepting applications for its Torrance Advantage Awards. Award recipients are recognized in 4 categories for their economic development strategies of local significance this year. The categories are people to people, enriching the community, quality of life, community investor, long-term investor, and a special award. Recipients will receive $200, a signed letter of recognition from the Mayor of Torrance. Businesses can self-nominate. The deadline is up to apply is Friday, March 2nd, and the ceremony will take place on March 15th. For any questions, contact the Office of Economic Development at 310-618-5801. This will mark the 11th annual Torrance Advantage Awards. El Camino College has a new art exhibit you won't want to miss. The art gallery now opened Moving Line, which displays artwork in a wide variety of media, including drawing, painting, sculpture, digital media, and video. There are 15 artists from Southern California featured. From the earliest days in human history, the artistry of the line has been fascinating for its capacity to evoke both motion and emotion. The exhibit will run through March 8th. The gallery is located on campus at 16007 Crenshaw Boulevard. Let's get to the weather. Despite Torrance getting the most rain this morning across Los Angeles County, it did clear up a bit. It was cloudy today with a high of 65 degrees and an expected low of 50 tonight. Tomorrow it will warm up, and on Thursday you can expect the sun shining with no clouds and a low of 50 degrees. A local brewery is celebrating another year in business, and you can join in on the fun. Tickets went on sale for Monkish Brewing Company's anniversary event today. There are only 500 available tickets. It will include pours, a glass, giveaways, and a meal ticket. The brewery is celebrating its 6th year on March 10th. They received approval from the city to close the parking lot so the event can take place. There will be more than a dozen guest breweries on hand as well. For more information and to buy tickets, go to monkishanniversary.eventbrite.com. And before the next half of NEWSBREAK Live, here are some upcoming events this week. Families are welcome to get ready for the Chinese New Year by crafting your very own dragons this Thursday. The program is free at Henderson Library. No registration is required. The event starts at 4 p.m. Also this Friday, you can enjoy Friday Lent Fish Fry at Nativity Parish Annex. You can have a choice of baked or deep-fried fish with side. It will profit the night's charitable causes. Tickets are $9 for adults and $5 for children. Well, in just 2 minutes, Torrance Police Chief Eve Irvine will be live to talk about joining the Torrance Police Department. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back to the second half of NEWSBREAK Live, and joining me is recently sworn in Torrance Police Chief Eve Irvine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
It's such an honor to have you, and thank you for joining me on my show tonight.
Thank you. It's my honor to be here.
Chief Irvine, you began your career in 1982, and then you led the Manhattan Beach Police Department for more than 6 years. Most recently, how has your journey been to this point?
You know, it's been exciting. It's been rewarding. It's been an amazing journey. I never would have thought about this being at this place at this time in 1982 when I first started in law enforcement.
And you started in Inglewood, correct?
I did. I began my career in 1982 as a police cadet, doing non-hazardous police duties, and then I worked my way up through the police ranks as a police officer up to the rank of captain. And then I left the Inglewood Police Department in 2011 to become the police chief of the Manhattan Beach Police Department, where I worked until recently being sworn in as the police chief of Torrance.
And you have a very impressive background, and you have experience in a lot of different assignments. Is there anything that I guess is close to your heart or that really has stuck with you over the years?
Children, protecting children, also partnering with our community. You know, the community partnership is just an amazing way to make all of the goals and objectives of the police department come true. Because when you partnership with your community, you can solve a lot of crimes, you can solve a lot of problems, and it's a great way for us to do police work.
What made you what made you pursue a career in law enforcement?
I always knew I wanted to help people. I wanted to help protect those who couldn't protect themselves. And I really wanted to be a superhero, but that job was already taken. So I did the next best thing and became a police officer.
Great. And now you're the police chief of the Torrance Police Department. How has the transition been? And now you're joining a department which is in one of the largest cities in Los Angeles County.
Yeah, there's been an extreme difference. In Inglewood, the size is about the same as it is with the Torrance Police Department, but we went from Inglewood to the Manhattan Beach Police Department, and then the Manhattan Beach Police Department to the Torrance Police Department. So there has been a significant learning curve, but it's great. The department is 3 times larger than the Manhattan Beach Police Department, but on par about the same for the Torrance Police to the Inglewood Police Department.
And you recently were sworn in during the city council meeting. So how was that being there with so much support? It was a standalone room. Officers from various South Bay agencies were there.
It was overwhelming, actually. You know, I don't normally like to be the spotlight. I just wanted to go in and just do my thing and then be sworn in and go back to my office. But there were a lot of people there, and what was really wonderful was not only the community support, because you're right, it was standing room only, but to see the support of all of the uniformed officers. There were over 100 uniformed officers there showing their support, and that was truly humbling and very honoring.
And you are also making history by being the first woman police chief for the city of Torrance. And while I know this is something you probably don't want to be defined as, tell me, what does being a police chief mean to you?
You know, it's very, it's an honor to be a police chief. It's very humbling, though, because when I look around, when I drive around the city of Torrance, I realize I'm responsible for everyone's public safety here. So that can be extremely humbling, just to ensure that everybody's safe. It means a lot to me. Somebody always, you know, I don't want to be defined by being the first female police chief of the city of Torrance, but I understand that people recognize that. Obviously, they see that I'm a woman. But, you know, I would love to just say, you know, she was hired because she was the right person for the job. She had the skill set and all the qualifications to be the police chief.
And I'm sure your story is very inspiring to a lot of women out there as well.
Thank you. You know, I gotta give a lot of credit to my aunt. She was the first police officer, female police officer of the Hawthorne Police Department.
Oh, wow.
And so she kind of broke the glass ceiling for all of us, and it made it a little bit easier for each and every one of us to live our dream.
Great story. And you are in the transition, so tell me some policies or goals you're hoping to accomplish.
So one of the things we're going to do is continue to enhance our service to the community. We're going to look at some of our traffic safety. We did see an increase in fatal traffic collisions in 2017. So we're going to try to work on some of our traffic safety enhancement and our measures to reduce the number of fatalities we had. We're also going to revisit policies and procedures. We're going to go into the body-worn cameras. We just got the council approval to purchase body-worn cameras, which will certainly help with our transparency within the community. But it's also going to help with the recovery of evidence and evidence protection. So that'll help us out quite a bit. But there's a lot to do, and there's a lot of stuff. Eventually, we're going to have a strategic plan, but that'll come a little bit later on in the year.
And what about the various areas your department is focusing on at the moment? I know it kind of goes hand in hand with the question I just asked you, but I know you mentioned to me some of the propositions that have gone into effect that have affected how things work. Yes,
so AB 109, which was enacted at the end of 2011, that was the realignment bill, and that really affected us. That was where they took, the state decided to take people from the corrections level, you know, federal or the state level, and bring them down and realign them to the local level. Well, there's only so many beds at the local level where these people could be housed, so they were releasing a lot of folks. So then the next year we had Prop 47, which was took a lot of felonies and made them into misdemeanors, including a lot of drug charges. And then the next year following that, we had Prop 57, which was the enhancement of public safety. And so there was a lot of hits all at once, and it certainly affected crime within not only the city of Torrance, but within all the state of California. Everybody's trying to catch up to trying to deal with folks that are in our communities now without having ways to assist them in getting, you know, work and housing. And so that's made it quite challenging. So we have to deal with that as well, just like everyone else in the state of California, all the local municipalities.
Any other top priorities you can tell me about?
Other than really focusing a lot on continuing to serve the community, but traffic safety is going to be big for us in 2018, just to ensure the safety of our public. A lot of our fatal traffic collisions involved pedestrians, and some of them were jaywalking, and some of them it was at night, and they were crossing. So we want to try to educate the community, educate our drivers, and just make it a safe all-around place for all of us.
Great, and you did mention the body cameras, and that was something I was going to bring up to you because the funds were recently approved by City Council. What does that mean for your department, having the state-of-the-art, it's one-of-a-kind equipment to help keep crime rates lower and in the city?
Well, we have it on two fronts, actually. We're going to have in-car cameras, so mounted on all of our police cars. We'll have cameras to capture evidence or traffic collisions, pursuits. That will help us. And then we also have body-worn cameras where each of our officers will be wearing cameras on their uniforms to collect any evidence and to be transparent to our community as well. But it certainly helps us and it's beneficial to all parties involved.
That'll be really interesting to see that on the police officers and how it'll help with future incidents.
It's really been a great, I know that sometimes they think police officers are afraid to have the body-worn cameras, and sometimes our community is afraid that Big Brother's watching, but that's not what the intent is at all for this. And they recently did it, we enhanced it with the Manhattan Beach Police Department, and it really rolled out very, very well, and it was so well received by not only the community, but the officers. So I'm hoping that will happen here as well. It's a benefit. It's absolutely a benefit.
And that will definitely be exciting. And there's another topic that has been of high importance to the community, the progression of combating the coyote population. Do you have an update for viewers at home? Yeah,
the good news is in the last 2 years since we started really a campaign on how to deal with coyotes, whether it's to educate our community on not leaving food out or how to haze, when you make yourself larger than life to scare off the coyotes, or being careful and being aware when you walk your animals. The deaths of animals by coyotes has decreased dramatically just over the last 2 years. And we're hoping it decreases even more because the coyotes are in our community and we have to live with them. So we need to ensure that our animals are protected, people are protected, and we need to do that by education and awareness. And that's been working out really, really well.
Great. I know there's a plan in place as well, so that's shown to be very good as well.
Yeah, and we have put that out to the entire South Bay community because it's not just Torrance that's dealing with the coyote management, urban coyote management, but it's all of the South Bay cities as well. So we all get together frequently and discuss the different issues and the concerns and some of the trends that we're seeing with the coyotes. So it's been great getting together with all of the other communities.
And on the management level, how are you going to bring your team together and continue to keep that teamwork happening?
The Torrance Police Department is such a great police department. And I got to tell you one thing, I got to brag on them. We solve crimes like I have never seen in any police department that I've ever worked for or even been around. I mean, the clearance rate for some of the crimes that we solve is just phenomenal. And that's really such a great service to our community. But bringing the team together, I mean, they're a great team anyway, and I want to help enhance that by being a part of it. But the team is there, and the team is solid. And it's a great place to live. It's a great place to work. Torrance is just a really, really great community.
And Police Chief Eve Irvine, is there anything else you'd like to tell viewers about yourself and joining the Torrance Police Department? I know this is very unique. They get to see a personal side of you as well on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me be here. We are hiring. So if you're interested, contact the Torrance Police Department. We are hiring for several different positions within the organization, not just for police officer, but for some of our civilian support staff as well. It's a great, great department to work for. Very rewarding career as well, helping the community. So if you are so inclined to help the community and really make a difference and have a rewarding experience in your career and in your life, join the Torrance Police Department.
And this is for various positions within the department?
Yes, it's not only for sworn, for police officers, but we have some of our clerical staff, we have some in records, public safety dispatchers. We have several different positions, some of our analysts that are support staff. They are not sworn officers, but there are support staff, our civilian staff within the police department.
I know for some people, we've done a story on the hiring process with the Torrance Police Department. It can be intimidating, but is it an easy process?
Not an easy process. I even had to go through it. There's a lot of things that are required because we want to ensure, especially for police officers, we want to ensure that the people that we put out in the field to protect us have it all together and can do the right thing. So we do significant background checks. We check for financial stability. We check for if anybody's been arrested, and that's not a complete disqualifier either. But we do in depth. We'll go into your neighbors and ask your neighbors if you're a good neighbor, if you're a cooperative neighbor, if you have a lot of loud parties at your house. We certainly look at drug use. We look at many different factors, but it is not an easy process. For instance, we might give a test and 100 people take it. And by the time we get down to whether people are going to pass the physical agility, people are going to pass the written exam, people are going to pass the oral examination, by the time we get down to it, the people that get into backgrounds, it's just a minute number of that. And by the time that we hire people, we may only hire 1 or 2 off of that 100-person list. So it's pretty significant.
People can get more information on torranceca.gov and going to the police department's page as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have lots of information all about it. And it's not a scary process. We can help walk you through it.
Great. Well, Police Chief Eve Irvine, thank you so much for joining me on my show. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me here.
Have a good night.
You as well.
Well, that does it for NewsBreak Live. Torrance City Council has the night off. And if you ever have news or video that you'd like to share, please email us at newsbreak@torranceca.gov. For Facebook and Twitter users, use #NewsBreakLive. Have a great night.